Okay, good morning, everyone, and welcome back to day 14 of 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teams. So, yesterday we talked about friends, sex, and school, and how to avoid negative complications surrounding those three areas of your life. Today we're going to talk about who's in the lead, and we are going to create a mission statement, or at least begin to think in that particular way. Okay, so you're definitely going to need paper, and you are or your notebook, the workbook. If you have the worksheets that come from the Boys and Girls Club, you can use those too. Okay, definitely. But you're going to look for the page. If you're working in the worksheets, you're going to look for the worksheet that's titled "The Great Exploration." All right, so let's get started today. Who's in the lead? Besides being at the crossroads of the most important decisions you'll ever make, the other reason to visualize your future is because if you don't, someone else will do it for you. As Jack Welch, former teen and current business executive, put it, control your own destiny or someone else will. Who will, you may ask? Could be anyone, friends, parents, the media. Do you want your friends to tell you what you stand for? You may have fine parents, but do you want them to draw up the blueprint of your life? Their interests may be far different from yours. And how about the media? Do you want to adopt the values portrayed in video games or gossip blogs or on TV? By now, you might be thinking, I'm going to chill and worry about the future when it comes. I like to live in the moment and go with the flow. I agree with the live in the moment part. We should enjoy the moment and not have our heads too far in the clouds. But I disagree with the go with the flow part. If you decide to just go with the flow, you'll end up where the flow goes. And sometimes it's headed straight downhill into a pile of sludge. Ooh, you'll end up doing what everyone else is doing, which may not be your end in mind at all. The road to anywhere is really a life to nowhere. The saying goes, you need to decide what direction feels right to you. It's really never too early. Without an end in mind of our own, we often wind up following anyone who's willing to lead, even into things that won't get us far. It reminds me of an experience I once had at a 10K road race. Some other runners and I were waiting for the race to start, but no one knew where the starting line was. Then a few runners began walking down the road as if they knew. Everyone, including me, began following. We just assumed they knew where they were going. And after walking for about a mile, we all suddenly realized that, like a herd of dumb sheep, we were following some dingus who had no idea where he was going. It turned out that the starting line was back right where we had begun. Never assume that the herd must know where they are going, because they usually don't. Okay, so personal mission statements. So if it's so important to have an end in mind, how do you do it? The best way I've found is to write a personal mission statement. A personal mission statement is like a personal credo or motto that states what your life is about. It is like the blueprint to your life. Countries have constitutions which function like a mission statement. And most companies like Apple and Pepsi have mission statements, but I think they work best with people. So why not write your own personal mission statement? Many teams have. They come in all types and varieties. Some are as long as a whole Bible passage, and some are as short as a 140-character tweet. Some are poems, and some are rap lyrics. Some teams use their favorite quote as a mission statement. Others use a picture or a photograph. Let me share a few teenage mission statements with you. The first one was contributed by a team named Beth Hare. First and foremost, I will remain faithful always to my God. I will not underestimate the power of family unity. I will not neglect a true friend, but I will set aside time for myself as well. I will cross my bridges as I come to them, divide and conquer. I will begin all challenges with optimism rather than doubt. I will always maintain a positive self-image and high self-esteem, knowing that all my intentions begin with self-elevation. June's mission statement comes from a quote from her favorite musician, Taylor Swift. To me, fearless is not the absence of fear. It's not being completely unafraid. To me, fearless is having fears. Fearless is having doubts, lots of them. To me, fearless is living in spite of those things that scare you to death. Okay, and Stephen Strong shared this one. His word, it's actually a word here, spelled out with the first letter, it's respect. And he created his mission statement around the word respect. So R is for religion, E is for education, S is succeeding, P is productive, E is exercise, C is caring, and T is truthful. I met a team named Adam Solsney from North Carolina who is familiar with the 7 Habits and was on fire about his future. Not surprisingly, he had a mission statement, which he volunteered. His mission statement read, "Have confidence in yourself and everyone else around you. Be kind and courteous and respectful to all people. Set reachable goals. Never lose sight of those goals. Never take the simple things in life for granted. Appreciate other people's differences and see their differences as a great advantage. Ask questions. Strive each day to reach interdependence. Remember that before you can change someone else, you must first change yourself. Speak with your actions, not with your words, and make the time to help those less fortunate than yourself or those who are having a bad day. And lastly, read the 7 Habits every day. Read this mission statement every day." So, what can writing a mission statement do for you? Tons. The most important thing it will do is open your eyes to what's really important to you and help you make decisions accordingly. A 12th grader shared how writing a mission statement made such a difference in her life. "During my junior year, I couldn't concentrate on anything because I had a boyfriend. I wanted to do everything for him and to make him happy. And then naturally, the subject of sex came up, and I wasn't at all prepared for it. And it became a nagging, constant thing on my mind. I felt like I wasn't ready and that I didn't want to have sex. But everyone else kept saying, just do it. Then I participated in a character development class at school where they taught me to write a mission statement. I started to write and kept on writing and kept adding things to it. It gave me direction and a focus, and I felt like I had a plan and a reason for doing what I was doing. It really helped me to stick to my standards and not do something I wasn't ready for. A personal mission statement is like a tree with deep roots. It's stable and it's not going anywhere, and it's also alive and continually growing. Standing like a tree with deep roots helps you survive all the storms of life that beat you up. As you've probably noticed already, life is anything but stable. Think about it. People are fickle, petty. Your boyfriend loves you one minute and then dumps you the next. You're someone's best friend one day and they're talking behind your back the next. Think about all of the events you can't control. Your family has to move, your mom loses her job, the country is at war, a family member dies, worse, a friend passes away. Fads come and go. Skinny jeans are popular one year and out the next. Vampires are the thing. Vampires are overrated. While everything about you changes, a personal mission statement can be your deep-rooted tree that never moves. You can deal with change if you have an immovable trunk to hang on to. Uncovering your talents. An important part of developing your personal mission statement is discovering what you're good at. One thing I know for sure is that everyone has a talent, a gift, something they are good at. Some talents, like having the singing voice of an angel, attract a lot of attention. But there are many other talents, maybe not as attention-grabbing, but every bit as important, if not more. Things like being a good listener, making people laugh, forgiving, drawing, or just being nice. Another truth is that we all blossom at different times. So if you're a late bloomer, relax. It may take you a bit longer to uncover your talent. After carving a beautiful sculpture, Michelangelo was asked how he was able to do it. He replied by saying that the sculpture was already in the block of granite from the very beginning. He just had to chisel off everything else around it. I love that so much. Michelangelo was so talented that when he looked at a block of rock or granite, he literally could see a picture within it. He just had to get all the dirt and residue off so it would be beautiful. Isn't that wonderful? Likewise, Viktor Frankl, a revered Jewish Austrian psychiatrist who served the death camps of Nazi Germany, taught that we don't invent our talents in life, but rather we detect them. In other words, you are already born with your talents. You just need to uncover them. I'll never forget my experience with finding a talent I never thought I had. To fulfill Mr. Williams' creative writing assignment for freshman English, I excitedly turned in my first high school paper, entitled The Old Man and the Fish. It was the same story my father had often told me at bedtime while I was growing up. I just assumed he had made it up. He didn't bother telling me he had stolen the plot directly from Ernest Hemingway's award-winning novel, The Old Man and the Sea. I was shocked when my paper was returned with the remarks, "Sounds a bit trite, like Hemingway's Old Man and the Sea." Who's this guy Hemingway? I thought, and how come he copied my dad? That was my poor start to 4 years of rather boring high school English classes, which were about as exciting to me as a clump of dirt. It wasn't until college, when I took a short story class from an amazing professor, that I began to detect my passion for writing. If you can believe it, I even majored in English. Mr. Williams would have freaked. The Great Discovery is a fun activity designed to help you get into touch with your deeper self as you prepare to write a mission statement. As you walk through it, answer the questions honestly. You can write your answers in your workbook, or you can just think them through. No, no, no. I asked you in the beginning to get paper today. I want you writing your answers down. It's the only way to make it stick. When you're finished, I think you'll have a way better idea of what inspires you, what you enjoy doing, whom you admire, and where you want to take your life. Okay, so let's take a look. He calls it the Great Discovery, and I titled it the Great Exploration. You'll have, if you've got the workbook, you'll have this worksheet, or it's not as pretty. It doesn't have all the artwork, but it definitely has the important criteria there for you, okay? All right, so get your pencil and paper ready, because I'm going to read the questions to you, and then I'm going to leave you for today and allow you to do the worksheets on your own, okay? All right, number one, think of a person who made a positive difference in your life. What qualities does that person have that you would like to develop? Okay, number two, imagine 20 years from now, you are surrounded by the most important people in your life. Who are they, and what are you doing? Number three, if a steel beam 6 inches wide were placed across two skyscrapers, for what would you be willing to cross? $1,000, a million, your pet, your brother, fame? Think carefully. Number four, oh no, come back. Where did four go? Okay, I seem to have lost four, so I'm going to switch. Give me a second. I'm going to switch to my questions. Okay, number four. If you're working in a workbook, this is what yours will look like. Describe a time when you were deeply inspired. Number five, list 10 things you love to do. It could seriously be anything: web design, dance, freestyle rapping, Pinterest browsing, eating ethnic foods, daydreaming, anything you absolutely love to do. Six, if you could spend one day in a great library studying anything you wanted, what would it be? Seven, 5 years from now, a major news site is going to oh, that's a typo. I'm sorry, guys. 5 years from now, a major news site is going to be doing a feature piece on you, and they want to interview 3 people you're close to. Who are they, and what would you want them to say about you? That's another think careful one. Number 8, think of something that represents you: a flower, a song, an animal. Why does it represent you? Number 9, if you could spend an hour with any person who ever lived, who would that be? Why that person? What would you ask them? Okay, and number 10 is going to use all these words right here. Everyone has one or more talents. Which of the ones above are you good at? Or write down some not listed. And I gave you space to jot down a few things. Okay? So obviously I would just circle these words. The ones that you're good at: good with numbers, good with words, creative thinking, athletics, making things happen, sensing needs, mechanical, artistic, working well with people, memorizing things, decision making, building things, accepting others, predicting what will happen, speaking, writing, dancing, listening, singing, humor, sharing, music. Anything else you can think of on top of that. If you want to be more specific than this, then make your list on the lines below number 10. Okay? So there you have it, today's lesson, the beginning of creating your mission statement. I hope that you've enjoyed today. I hope I was sharing that. It just dawned on me that I possibly was not sharing my screen to you. Flipper. Okay, hold on. Coming back. I'm not going to go back through everything because that was my bad. I apologize. But if you have access to the book, then you can go and look on your own, or you can access my questions. And here you go right here, okay? So if you need 4, there's question 5. Just pause the video if you're revisiting this. Okay? question 7 and 8, 9, and then here's the list for 10. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm human. I make mistakes. Any of my students will tell you that I'm far from perfect, and I kind of enjoy that. So I'm going to go on and continue this delicious warm cup of coffee that was just poured for me, and I hope that you all have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow.